Life is tough. It's a battlefield out there. But you know what? You're tougher. You've got something special inside you, something that can't be measured, can't be weighed. It's your spirit, your drive, your determination. And today we're going to talk about how to make that spirit stronger, how to work harder on yourself. You see, success isn't just about talent. It's not about luck. It's about the work you put in when nobody's watching. It's about those early mornings and late nights. It's about pushing yourself when you think you've got nothing left to give. I'm here to tell you that you've got more in you than you realize. You've got dreams, big dreams, but dreams without hard work are just wishes. And wishes don't change the world. Action does. Your action, your hard work, think about it. Every great achievement in history started with someone deciding to work harder on themselves. They didn't wait for opportunities to fall into their lap. They created those opportunities through sweat, through tears, through relentless effort. You want to be successful? You want to make a difference? Then you've got to be willing to do what others won't. You've got to be willing to sacrifice, to push past your limits, to face your fears head on and say, not today. Today, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. Work harder on yourself isn't just about physical effort. It's about mental toughness too. It's about training your mind to see obstacles as challenges, not roadblocks. It's about developing the discipline to keep going when everything inside you is screaming to quit. You know, I've been in this game for a long time. I've seen people rise and fall. And let me tell you, the ones who rise, they're not always the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to give up. The ones who keep pushing, keep learning, keep growing. Every day, you've got a choice. You can choose to stay the same or you can choose to improve. You can choose comfort or you can choose growth. And growth, it's not comfortable. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Think about a muscle. How does it grow? Through resistance, through pressure, through pain. Your character, your skills, your potential, they're no different. They grow when you push them to their limits and beyond. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There will be days when you don't want to get out of bed. Days when you feel like the whole world is against you. But those are the days that define you. Those are the days when you've got to dig deep and remember why you started this journey in the first place. You've got to have a vision, a clear picture of where you want to go. Because when times get tough, and they will get tough, that vision will be your North Star. It'll guide you through the darkness. It'll give you the strength to keep moving forward when everything else is telling you to turn back. But a vision without action is just a daydream. You've got to put in the work. You've got to be willing to fail, to fall down and get back up. Again and again and again, because failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every time you fail, you learn. Every time you fall, you get stronger. As long as you keep getting up, keep moving forward, you haven't truly failed. You're just finding ways that don't work on your path to finding the one that does. Working harder on yourself means being honest with yourself. It means looking in the mirror and acknowledging your weaknesses, not to beat yourself up, but to identify areas where you can improve, where you can grow. It means setting goals, not vague wishes, but clear, specific targets. Goals that scare you a little. Goals that force you out of your comfort zone because that's where the magic happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. And let me tell you something. You're capable of so much more than you think. You've got potential that you haven't even begun to tap into. But that potential, it's not going to realize itself. You've got to work for it. You've got to fight for it. Every day you've got to wake up with a hunger to be better, to do more, to push harder. You've got to be your own biggest fan and your own toughest critic. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Never be satisfied. Always be looking for the next mountain to climb. Working harder on yourself means investing in yourself, in your education, in your skills, in your health. It means reading books that challenge your thinking. It means seeking out mentors who can guide you. It means taking care of your body, because a strong mind needs a strong foundation. It means being disciplined with your time. Time is the one resource you can never get back. So use it wisely, cut out the distractions, the things that don't serve your goals, focus on what matters, on what moves you closer to where you want to be. You've got to be willing to make sacrifices, to say no to things that might be fun in the moment but don't align with your long-term vision. It's not about denying yourself joy. It's about choosing the greater joy of achieving your dreams over the fleeting pleasure of instant gratification. Working harder on yourself means developing good habits, because success isn't about one big decision. about the small decisions you make every single day. It's about consistency, about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the right thing, not the easy thing. It's about integrity, about being true to your word even when no one's watching. Because character isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows, in those private moments when you choose to do what's right instead of what's convenient. You got to surround yourself with people who push you to be better. People who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. People who will tell you the truth even when it's hard to hear. Because iron sharpens iron, and you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. But at the end of the day, it's on you. You can have all the support in the world, but if you're not willing to put in the work, it won't matter. You've got to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own biggest believer. You've got to be willing to do what others won't, to go the extra mile, to put in that extra hour of practice, to take that extra course, to make that extra call. Because excellence isn't an accident. It's a habit. It's the result of consistently choosing to do more than is required. Working harder on yourself means being patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is success. It's a process, a journey. There will be setbacks. There will be disappointments. There will be times when you feel like giving up. But that's when you've got to dig deep. That's when you've got to remember why you started. You've got to trust the process. Trust that every effort, every sacrifice, every moment of discomfort is bringing you closer to your goals, even when you can't see the results yet, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Keep pushing, keep working, keep believing. Because here's the thing, success leaves clues. Look at any successful person in any field and you'll see the same patterns. Hard work, dedication, perseverance. They're not superhuman. They're just people who decided to work harder on themselves than anyone else was willing to work. You've got to be willing to do what others won't, to sacrifice what others won't, to endure what others won't. Because if you do, you'll achieve what others can't. You'll reach heights that others can only dream of. But it starts with a decision to be better, a decision to work harder, a decision to never settle for less than your best. And that decision, you've got to make it every single day. Every single moment. Working harder on yourself means being accountable to yourself and to your goals. It means no excuses, no blaming others, no waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. The right time is now. The right place is here. You've got to be willing to step out of your comfort zone, to take risks, to face your fears. Because on the other side of fear is where growth happens. It's where opportunities lie. It's where you discover what you're truly made of. Remember, the only person you're really competing against is yourself. Your goal should be to be better today than you were yesterday, to be better tomorrow than you are today. It's not about being perfect. It's about progress. Continuous, relentless progress. Working harder on yourself means being resilient. Life will knock you down. It'll throw curveballs at you. It'll test you in ways you never imagined, but it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how you get back up. It's about your ability to bounce back, to adapt, to keep moving forward no matter what. You've got to develop a mindset of gratitude, to appreciate the journey, not just the destination, to find joy in the process, in the struggle, in the growth. Because success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become along the way. Working harder on yourself means being open to feedback, to criticism, to new ideas. It means being humble enough to admit when you're wrong and brave enough to change course when necessary. It means never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop evolving. You got to be your own biggest cheerleader, to believe in yourself even when no one else does, to keep going even when the odds are stacked against you. Because here's the truth, the only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. Working harder on yourself means taking responsibility for your life, for your choices, for your actions. It means understanding that you are the author of your own story, that you have the power to shape your destiny, that your future is in your hands. You got to be willing to put in the hours, the blood, sweat, and tears, to go above and beyond, to do more than is expected. Because excellence isn't about meeting standards. It's about setting new ones. Remember, success is not a destination. It's a journey, a continuous process of growth and improvement. So don't just focus on the end goal, focus on becoming the kind of person who can achieve that goal. Because when you work on yourself, when you improve yourself, everything else in your life improves too. Working harder on yourself means being consistent. It's not about making huge leaps forward every day. It's about making small, consistent progress. It's about showing up day after day and putting in the work, even when you don't see immediate results, even when it feels like you're not making progress. You've got to trust the process, to have faith in your journey, to believe that every effort, every sacrifice, every moment of discomfort is bringing you closer to your goals. Because success is not about instant gratification. It's about delayed gratification. It's about planting seeds today. It will bear fruit tomorrow. Working harder on yourself means being disciplined. It means doing what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It means mastering your emotions, controlling your impulses, and making decisions based on your long-term goals, not your short-term desires. You've got to be willing to say no to good things so you can say yes to great things, to prioritize what's important over what's urgent, to focus on what truly matters and let go of what doesn't. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose your company wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to be better, people who believe in you and your dreams. Working harder on yourself means being honest with yourself. It means facing your fears, your weaknesses, your shortcomings, not to beat yourself up, but to identify areas where you can improve, where you can grow, where you can become stronger. You've got to be willing to step out of your comfort zone, to do things that scare you, to take on challenges that seem impossible, because that's where growth happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. Working harder on yourself means being patient. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. So don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Keep pushing, keep working, keep believing. You've got to develop a growth mindset, to see challenges as opportunities, to view failures as lessons, to understand that your abilities, your skills, your potential, they're not fixed. They can be developed. They can be improved through effort, through learning, through persistence. Remember, the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. So choose discipline, choose hard work, choose to push yourself beyond your limits. Because on the other side of that discomfort, that's where greatness lies. Working harder on yourself means being adaptable. The world is constantly changing, and you've got to change with it. You've got to be willing to learn new skills, to embrace new technologies, to adapt to new situations, to be flexible in your approach while remaining steadfast in your goals. You've got to be resilient. Life will throw curveballs at you. You'll face setbacks, disappointments, failures. But it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. It's about your ability to bounce back, to keep moving forward no matter what. Working harder on yourself means being proactive. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Create them. Don't wait for someone to hand you success. Go out and earn it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make this moment perfect. You've got to take ownership of your life, of your choices, of your actions. You've got to understand that you are responsible for your own happiness, your own success, your own future. No one else is going to do it for you. Remember, success is not about luck. It's not about talent. It's about effort. It's about dedication. It's about the work you put in when no one's watching. Because success is not an event. It's a habit. It's the result of consistently choosing to do more than is required. Working harder on yourself means being committed to excellence in everything you do. Whether it's your job, your relationships, your health, your personal growth, strive to be the best. Not to compete with others, but to compete with yourself. To be better today than you were yesterday, you've got to be willing to go the extra mile, to do more than is expected, to exceed expectations, not just occasionally, but consistently. Because excellence is not an act, but a habit. And habits are formed through consistent, repeated actions. Remember, there's no substitute for hard work. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not willing to put in the work, it won't matter. So roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, put in the hours, because that's where success is born. Working harder on yourself means being passionate about your goals. It means having a burning desire to succeed, a hunger to achieve, a drive to excel, because when you're passionate about what you do, work doesn't feel like work. It feels like purpose. You've got to have a vision, a clear picture of where you want to go. of who you want to become, and you've got to be willing to do whatever it takes to turn that vision into reality, to make your dreams come true. Remember, success is not about reaching a destination. It's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve your goals. So focus on personal growth, on self-improvement, on becoming the best version of yourself. Working harder on yourself means being persistent. It means never giving up, no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many obstacles you face, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. Because success is not about never falling. It's about getting up every time you fall. You've got to have grit, that combination of passion and perseverance that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. That mental toughness that allows you to keep going when everyone else has given up. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every success story started with a person who refused to give up. So don't be discouraged by your current circumstances. Don't be limited by your past. Focus on your future and your potential, on what you can become. Working harder on yourself means being curious. It means having a thirst for knowledge, a hunger for learning, a desire to understand more, to know more, to be more. Because in today's world, the one who stops learning stops growing. You've got to be a lifelong learner, to constantly seek new knowledge, new skills, new experiences, to be open to new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of thinking. Because the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you grow, the more you can achieve. Remember, knowledge is power, but knowledge without action is useless. So don't just learn. Apply what you learn, turn your knowledge into action, your ideas into reality, your dreams into goals, and your goals into achievements. Working harder on yourself means being authentic. It means being true to yourself, to your values, to your beliefs. It means not trying to be someone else, but being the best version of yourself. Because there's only one you, and that's your superpower.